There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. Grateful and thankful for this day, this time, and this opportunity to be able to come to you today to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is a natural, normal, necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expression of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. That's why we shout good morning, because morning is indeed a good thing. And I am grateful and thankful for each and every one of you for tuning in as we navigate through our Good Morning Grief Devotion. So, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I tell people all the time, I said this the other day, and y'all heard me say it, everybody's grieving. Everybody just doesn't know it. Everybody don't recognize and realize that they are dealing with loss, they are dealing with change, they are dealing with transition. And you know, as I know, grief goes beyond death, even though that's the primary thing we focus on here. It's any loss, any change, any transition that you deal with in your life. You got to unpack that. You got to face that. You got to deal with that. You got to go through the steps, the processes of navigating through that. It's so very important that you do. And that's what we do here. We do it one day at a time. It's like a daily dose, right? It's a daily dose. It's a shot. It's a grief bite. It's something to help you as you navigate through your journey. And we're all on a journey. We're all at different places and different spaces in our journey. And because of that, this week, y'all know we do a new series every week. This week, we're talking about the seasons of the soul, finding God in every season of grief. That we are all in a different season, a different place, different space of our, and it's identifying the season that you're in. And I know there may be different things, loss, change, transitions you're dealing with, because grief is so many different things. You may be in a different season regarding the different forms or things of grief that you're going through. I want you to be able to identify the season that you're in. So yesterday we talked about the winter season, and today I want to give you our next edition. So today is day 202. This message is for me and for you. We're going to talk about spring, when hope begins again. We're going to talk about spring and when hope begins again. Let's talk about it, y'all. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? After a long winter, we did winter yesterday. Y'all remember? Winter is bitter, is brutal, is cold, is it gets dark and all of these things. But even while that's taking place, on the surface and everything outwardly, there are things that are happening beneath the surface. When it comes to winter, the soil, the roots, and everything, stuff that's being prepared and cultivated and preserved, that God is working beneath the surface, even in the winter of your grief. We talked about that yesterday. Even in the season of your grief, where everything is brutal and bitter and cold, and dark and depressing, all of this stuff, all of that is taking place on the outside, but down beneath, God is cultivating something. He's working on something. So today we're going to talk about the spring. After a long winter, spring rarely arrives all at once. Snow doesn't disappear overnight. The trees don't instantly become full of leaves. Instead, life begins to return little by little. A single bud appears, a flower blooms. The days grow a little warmer. What once seemed lifeless slowly begins to awaken. Grief works the same way, little by little, right? You start to spring out of this winter dilemma. And it doesn't happen all at once. You don't go outside and just one day is winter, the next day is spring and it's warm, and all of the trees have leaves and all of the flowers have bloomed. Nah, it doesn't happen all at once. Is little by little. Grief works the same way. You don't come out of your grief all at once. Just like you just wake up one day and, oh yeah, everything is all better. No, it's little by little. There comes a day when you smile and it catches you by surprise. You ever had that happen to you, right? In the midst of the grief and everything, it comes a day where you smile and you're like, whoa, that felt different. This feels different, right? You laugh at a memory instead of only crying over it. You find yourself looking forward to something again, little by little. You find yourself coming out of the very thing that you've been in. For a moment, hope quietly returns. Sometimes those moments can make us feel guilty. You feel guilty about feeling good. We talked about that before. This is our fourth year doing grief devotion. So understand a lot of stuff, it comes back up. We talked about feeling guilty about feeling good. There are times we'll say, how dare you be here having a good time? How dare you? You smile and you laugh and you joke and we feel guilty about feeling good. How can I laugh and my loved one is gone? How can I laugh and they're no longer here? How can I have a good time? How can I go to the restaurant we used to go to and I find myself having a good time? There comes a time, right? You kind of feel guilty about feeling good. That's because you're springing out of the winter. You're springing out of the brutal, the bitter, the cold, the dark, you are springing out. And a part of that, you start feeling guilty about feeling good. Last paragraph, for a moment, hope quietly returns. Sometimes those moments make us feel guilty. We wonder if healing means we're leaving our loved one behind. I'm healing. Does that mean I'm leaving them behind? But healing is not forgetting. Hope is not betrayal. Joy is not disloyalty. I'm going to tell you again, healing is not forgetting. Hope is not betrayal. Joy is not disloyalty. God often works in us in the same way. The God who comforts us in winter is the same God who gently leads us into the spring. Because I want to help you. You're not leaving it behind. You ain't got to feel guilty about feeling good. You ain't got to feel guilty about the cloud being lifted or you progressing on your journey, or you're making progress, right? You're the same thing. it's the same thing, but a little different. Like grief is an invisible wound. We know, like visible wound, like if you break your leg or something like that, you don't feel guilty about feeling good. You feel better. I can finally get this cast off. I can finally do this. I can finally do that. If you if you had surgery or something and you're feeling better, you don't feel guilty about feeling good. You want to get well as soon as possible. With grief, it's the invisible wound, right? And for that, it's just a little different because we like, man, are we leaving them behind? Right? I'm feeling bad. I'm not crying. We think all of that is a sign that we love and we care. And it is. But not crying does not mean you don't love, you don't care. Coming out of it, laughing again, living again, loving again, it don't mean that you no longer love them. It doesn't mean that you no longer care. It's your wound, right? Your wound is you're progressing on your journey, right? Your wound is healing, that you are definitely, indeed, you're moving forward. You're not moving on without them. You're moving forward with them, right? And it's not something for you to feel bad about. It's something for you to celebrate. It's something for you to embrace. So I want to set you free, right? I want to set you free. I want to set you free from the guilty jail. I want to set you free from the grips of guilt that you feel bad about feeling better. I want to set you free from the grips of guilt that you are feeling from feeling bad instead of feeling that you are feeling better. Second paragraph, he doesn't rush us. He doesn't force us to move faster than we're ready. Instead, he patiently nurtures new life within us until we begin to notice what he has been growing all along. Spring reminds us that God specializes in bringing life out of places that once seemed barren. That if your heart has begun to experience even the smallest glimpse of hope, don't be afraid of it. Receive it as a gift from God. He specializes in bringing life out of places that once seemed barren. Y'all, this is a gift. You're progressing on your journey. Congratulations. You are progressing on your journey, and that is the goal. The goal is to progress on your journey. Wherever you've been, you want to progress on your you want to progress on your journey. You want to be able to progress on your journey. Yeah, I ran into somebody the other day, and this was somebody from my past who um in one sense, you know, was a tremendous blessing, right? Gave me great opportunity, tremendous blessing, but in another sense, did me dirty. I mean, me did me dirt ball dirty, right? I mean, did me dirty. And it's not that I don't know, it wasn't I mean, I was very bitter initially and had a lot of animosity initially. And I even seen them since, and it wasn't, you know, I wasn't even it is what it is. But this time was different, right? And no, it ain't who y'all think it is for some of y'all. Did he? Nope, it ain't that. But y'all, this time was totally different. And I seen I'm like, yo. And it may have been because somebody else recently who was very instrumental in some seasons of my life passed away. So it had me very sentimental regarding those who had poured into me, helped me at some season of my life. And so I seen the individual, and despite what they did, despite what they happened, y'all, I said, yo, I said, man, I want to thank you for all that you've done. I want to thank you for the opportunity you gave me. I want to thank you for, the blessing you was, blah, blah, blah. I ain't bring up the bad stuff. I didn't talk about how everything happened, how they, and it was some stuff. I didn't, and what it taught me was because grief deals with loss, change, and transition, right? Y'all, there was no bitterness, there was no animosity that I could tell that I had sprung out of my winter season. I had sprung out of the bitterness, the anger, you know what I'm saying? I sprung, and it was 20 something years ago, but I had sprung out of that, right? It was just a sign that I had progressed on my journey. It was a sign that I could look beyond what, the negative stuff, the bad stuff that happened. I could focus on, the good stuff that did happen. It was just a sign of forgiveness, of healing, of progressing along the journey. It was such a beautiful thing. Um, and I want you to know that's the goal. When you're dealing with loss, change, when you're dealing with things that have hurt you and things, you don't went through, y'all, the sign of progression is that I'm springing out of this, right? I'm springing out of this season of this particular phase, right? I'm progressing, right? And it's so very important because at the end of the day, that's the goal, to progress on your journey, right? It's to progress on your journey. And we don't rush healing. We don't rush wellness. We don't do you feel what you feel. You navigate through the process. You go through the phases. But know that there comes a day and time, there comes a point where God begins to allow you to spring out of the winter dilemma that you once found yourself in. And you receive that as a gift of God. When you begin to spring forth, y'all, you begin to love again, laugh again, live again. You ain't got to feel guilty. I'm springing out of what I was once in. And that's so important. That small spark of peace, that unexpected smile, that renewed sense of purpose, those are not signs that you've stopped grieving, right? They are signs that God is continuing his healing work. Spring doesn't erase winter. It does not. It simply reminds us that winter doesn't last forever. Spring does not erase winter. It's just a sign that winter does not last forever. Here's your point of application, y'all. Today, look for one small sign of hope in your life and thank God for it. Whether it's a peaceful moment, a kind conversation, or the ability to smile again. Recognize it as evidence that God is still bringing new life to your heart. Today is day 202. I told you this message was for me and for you. Spring, when hope begins again. These are the seasons of the soul, finding God in every season of grief. I hope this lesson was a blessing to each and every one of you. Any comments, questions, comments? Any questions or comments? Natasha says those glimpses of hope, the spring season is refreshing and necessary when coming from a winter season. Yes, yes, and yes, most definitely refreshing and necessary coming from a winter season. I'm ready for it to be who she said, I'm ready for it to be who I think it is. That is hilarious. Oh man, that's a major part of healing is growth. Yeah, it's a major part of healing is growth, right? That's a major part is growth. And I love it. 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 No question. Y'all be a little quiet today. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. I hope and pray y'all have a terrific Tuesday. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place for another Good Morning Grief devotion. Y'all have a good Tuesday. We out. Good morning.